Hey everyone, it's your girl Kiki and I'm back with another freaking video. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications so you're notified every single time I post. But today, I'm here to talk to you about what I learned while traveling the world. So, I have been fortunate enough this year to travel to 4 different countries. And like several cities across the world. So I was in London, England, Paris, France, Barcelona, Spain, and Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. So 4 countries this year. This was my first time traveling outside of the US. I had traveled to Mexico like earlier in my life, but like this is my first time like doing a real big like flying across the ocean type trip. So I learned a ton while I was in Europe and while I visited the Dominican Republic. So I just wanted to share like some of my life lessons that I learned from traveling. Definitely plan to continue traveling and continue to learn extremely valuable life lessons. So let's get into it. The first thing I learned from traveling the world is America is like a dream to some people. Like I was visiting such amazing cities to me, London, Paris, Barcelona, cities that are so amazing and so cool, but the people from these cities, they still really want to come to America. Everyone wants to come to America. To pretty much everyone else in the world, America is like a dream. It's the land of the free, the home of the brave. You can do anything in America. You can literally, if you want to work hard, you can be anyone you want to be. You can do anything you want to do. And I basically learned that from traveling the world. A lot of people really aspire to live in America, and they aspire to visit America, and they kind of look up to us as a country. And that shocked me. I always knew America was obviously a top world leader and an amazing country, but I didn't realize people in like London and Paris and these nice bougie cities wanted to come to America. Like I've always thought, you know, people in third world countries would want to come to America, but it seems like literally everyone in the world wants to come to America. And I talked to one of my really good friends about this, and she told me, she's actually from Europe, she said, America is like a dream. You see it in the movies and you see it in the cinema, and you want to come to LA, you want to come to New York. It's literally like a dream. So that was a surprise to me. And the next thing I learned is there's literally so many American travelers. Literally everywhere I go, I meet someone from LA and someone from New York. Like no matter where I am, there's someone from LA and someone from New York visiting. And of course those cities have huge populations. So like, of course there's gonna be like, you're bound to see someone. There's bound to be someone from those cities visiting. But me in particular, I literally always run into Americans, and it's surprising to me. Obviously, it depends on where you travel. When I went to the Dominican Republic, there was a lot more people from South America, like Panama, Brazil, like other countries in South America. Whereas when I went to Europe, there was other people from other European countries. However, the common theme is there's always Americans traveling. So the next thing I learned from traveling is that like, I'm never alone. It's really crazy. Like you go 5, 6, 7,000 miles away from your home and you're literally never alone. People are always so friendly and they're always willing to help. I have met some of the most amazing souls in my life from traveling. I met so many amazing people in London and Paris and the Dominican Republic, and I can't get over that. And I feel like no matter where I was and no matter what language I spoke, someone was always there to help me and someone was always there to guide me. And I feel like that's so powerful. Like I have learned through the trips I took this year that like I can do anything and go anywhere. I'm not afraid to take a solo trip because I know I will meet someone. People are so friendly and so helpful. I remember in Paris, we were in the subway station and we did not speak French. Obviously we tried to speak French. We were visiting a French speaking country, so we weren't like completely ignorant. We knew the basics like bathroom, help, hello, goodbye, how are you doing? But we needed help to get back home, and this lady didn't speak a lick of English, and we didn't speak a lick of French, and she literally tried her hardest to help us find our way, and it was very heartwarming and very, very sweet to me. And I don't know, like, you're never alone. Like, you always have someone with you to guide you and to be with you, and I really, really seen that through traveling. The next thing I learned, which is not like as deep or anything, and some of you guys might be like, girl, bye, like depending on where you live, but I learned how to use public transportation. Like traveling in the subway again in Paris, where everything was in French, and somehow making my way around, there is nothing that phases me. I was in Atlanta earlier this year and I rode their little metro system. It was a piece of cake. It was light work, okay? After I rode that Paris subway, I can understand any subway in the world. I can get around anywhere, which is super convenient because like taking taxis and Ubers really, really adds up, and it's better if you can take the subway. So now that I have a really, really good understanding of how to use the subway, like I'm out here. Like I know when I would visit New York, we would always take Ubers. Now, like when I visit New York, we're taking the subway. Like we would take the subway sometimes, but it was like, we would be like wishy-washy when we wanted to take the subway. But it's so much cheaper and it's a lot more convenient, honestly, like rather than sitting in traffic, right? So the next thing I learned was poverty is real. You know, growing up in America, like I am really, 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 really fortunate, and not every single country is fortunate. Although we do have a lot of poverty in America, we definitely I'm not discounting that, but I have visited some places where the poverty was extreme. And to be honest, I haven't even visited any third world country, but the Dominican Republic was very, very poor. And surprisingly, this shocked me, but Paris was really, really poor. And I mean, Paris is a big city. You could argue that New York is also poor, like it has money and it has a downfall, but there's a lot of poverty in Paris, and I was not prepared for that, and I did not realize that. And so just really learning that poverty is real. People are really out here living completely different lives. I mean, these are only the experiences I have had, but I've also spoken with other people that have visited actual third world countries, and hearing their stories, it's very, very devastating, and it's definitely something I learned. Obviously, I knew it was real, but to see it firsthand was like a different experience. Okay, the next thing I learned is that like you cannot escape your problems. I know like some of me and my friends, we have jokes like, I don't catch feelings, I catch flights. Like, see, you wouldn't want to be yet. You want to have an attitude with me, I'm on the next flight somewhere. Traveling literally does not cure your problems. You might think it does, but it doesn't. You can go your whole life searching. You can travel the whole world searching for something, and you will not be able to find it. You have to find it within yourself. And that's something I learned this year through traveling. You can travel the whole world looking for something, and it literally is within you. So if you're a traveler, like definitely be out there traveling, but know that like your true happiness, your true purpose and calling will not be revealed through traveling. It will be revealed like through your inner self, no matter where you are. Next thing I learned is kind of about like planning. Like I'm a little indifferent with this, but don't plan too much, but have some type of idea of what you want to do. So definitely do research on countries before you get there so you know what to do. But don't plan too much, because if you do, you're going to be stressful and you're going to be tired. I know when I went to Europe, I was there for 10 days and I literally packed everything into 10 days. And it was just like, I wish I would have kind of taken it a little more easy, because like by the 10th day, I was so exhausted from like, I was literally waking up at like 6 a.m. every day to be the first person in the museum. And then I was staying out till like 2 a.m. every morning to like have a nightlife experience. I was exhausted when I left Europe. So like, don't plan too much. You don't have to do everything. Like, just do what's on your heart. On the same note, I'm not a huge fan of like tourist traps. I literally learned this year that like, I'm not a huge fan of museums, tourist traps. I like going to a new country or a new city and seeing how the people that live there actually live. what are their traditions? What do they do for fun? Where do they go shopping? That is like what I like to do. I don't like to go to museums or stand in lines or be in tourist traps, because honestly, that's not exciting to me. Like, I went to Paris, seen the Palace of Versailles, the Mona Lisa, the Eiffel Tower. I've seen a lot of amazing sites in London. Like, London has so much history, and to me, like, the most exciting part of my vacation was meeting local people and hanging out with them and seeing the way they live and the way they spend their time. And so, like, that's something I learned, like, in my future trips, that I would rather connect with locals and see how they actually live and see what the city traditions are, rather than get caught up in, like, the tourist trap. Because, I mean, to me, it's the same in every city. Like, I seen the Mona freaking Lisa. Like, you would think that would be like, oh my gosh, you have to see the Mona Lisa. But I had more fun, like, having lunch with the local person from Paris. So, I mean, that's just me. Next thing I learned from traveling the world is to try new things. Back on the topic of Paris, when I was in Paris, I tried escargot, which is snail. And initially I was just like, absolutely not. I'm not trying escargot. It ended up being so good and I loved it, and it was a memory that I had. And like I mentioned, I like, you know, living how the locals live. So you have to try new things. You have to eat like they eat. You have to eat their local cuisine, and you have to drink their local drinks. And I don't know, I just like to try new things, and I've learned to try new things throughout my travel. And so the last thing that I learned from traveling the world is that every single person in the world has a different perspective and point of view of the world. It's really interesting how people from America think versus people from Canada, Dominican Republic. Every single culture and group of people has a different, diverse perspective. And it was really, really interesting to meet people and learn different, diverse perspectives. Those are just some of the things that I thought of that I learned while traveling the world. Obviously, I learned a lot more things. Stay tuned for my travel vlogs. I do love traveling. I've traveled across the US, and I feel like I've been to so many places. So if you have any questions, or you're curious, or you want if you want Miami story times, or New York, or, you know, London, like, I'm here for that. But yeah, so those are some of the things that I learned from traveling the world. Traveling the world is like one of the most amazing experiences that I've had in my life, and I plan to continue that, and I really do cherish that. And if you're even hesitant about it, I totally 1,150,000,000% recommend that you go ahead and start traveling the world. If you want any more tips, or you have any questions or concerns about what I learned, leave me a comment down below. Also, if you have been to any countries around the world, tell me, like, what have you learned from traveling the world? Before I filmed this video, I literally asked all my friends and family just to get their insight, and it was very interesting, their responses. So I would love to hear what you guys learned from traveling the world. And like I said earlier, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications, leave me a comment. I really, really do appreciate it. And like I said, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day.